so let's go into the training room. I've got no stabilizer, so I'll try to keep this ready. Okay, perfect. Let's go back. Let's point that there. There you go, you little guy. There he is. Okay then, right, it's time. Let's take a look at how we're going to deploy the remote recording solution from a source to a destination. Right, let's break it down. So, we're obviously going to be using the internet, www, and of course we're going to have site B. Now, site B is going to be on Virgin Media, TalkTalk, you know, or maybe commercial ISPs. And that's going to have a IP address, 77.8.3.x. Now, this IP address is irrelevant. You will not need to know this IP address because this is in fact actually the source. We need to know the IP address of the destination. That's a given. However, what this is, dynamic or static, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're then going to come through and we're going to connect to the ISP. Sorry, this is a bad image there. So of course we're going to connect to the actual router there, and then from this we're going to connect to the networking switch. Now, pop quiz, which is better, from NVR to MVR or from IP camera to MVR? Which one? Okay, the better one is IP camera to MVR, because if anything goes wrong with the first MVR, then of course there will be a problem with the secondary MVR. Now that one's just a given. However though, let's say for example the first MVR on the actual source has failed. We don't know why it's failed. It's turned off, it's not working. However though, the cameras are connected to a switch, and the switch is connected to the internet, which means that with NVR from the source, from site B, is off, it may not necessarily matter, because as long as the NVR on site A is operational, then of course in this case we still have a solution. So it's always best to do the switch. Okay, so that's going to go off to the NVR, and this will go off to IPC, Internet Protocol Camera. Right, next site, destination. That will go off to the next internet connection. This is site A. The IP address we absolutely need to know. That's going to be 88.1.1.x. We do need to know that IP address because the NVR and the camera is going to ask for that IP address when we're setting up the configuration. Right, this then will go off to a switch, and so ISP stroke switch, and then this will go off to the NVR. Okay, so you can see that we've logged into the camera. So what I'm going to do, click settings top right corner, then click on network. Left hand side, auto registration. Click on auto registration. Right, now we need to enable the feature. Now this is where it's going to be sent on the LAN or the WAN. Okay, this could be a 192.168 address, or this could be a 88.56 address, okay, a WAN address. Okay, now the port number is what you're going to need to set up on the site A, the destination. So a frequent one that people use is 9500. Okay, so now 9500 is set up as the port number. Now the device ID, so that today in capitals and letters is Bob123. Okay, now what I'm going to do for the sake of this demonstration at the moment, I'm going to put this in as local. So 192.168.10.192. Close. 182. Okay, so apply. Right, so that's that done now. Okay, so the port number, the IP address, and the keyword is done. Right, let's move to the MVR. Okay, let's get the MVR ready. Click on Add Device. Click on Manual Add. Drop it from private as per the DAO protocol. Drop it from private down to register. Now, the username is admin. The password is capital P. Password 1 hash. And then the registration ID. Now that is the ID from the source, the camera. So capital letters BOB 1 2 3. Okay, Bob 1 2 3. That's going to be on channel 1. So press on OK. Press on live view. Increase the video matrix. Channel 1. Okay. Okay. So that PTZ is now directly transmitting from its source to the destination by the keyword Bob123. If I in fact actually had that on a remote connection, it doesn't make a difference. The technology doesn't care. It doesn't matter what type of IP address that is. So now I can take that camera, go put that in the middle of a field on a solar solution, make sure that the actual IP address is correct, and then it will transmit from that PTZ over the World Wide Web back to this network video recorder.